Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 3 with CS Santhosh Prabhu. Today we will be discussing what is the scope of a company secretary or what is the scope in company secretary for the field of practice. Like advocate will be practicing law, at the same time doctor will be having their own clinic. So I came here to ask certain doubts with Santhosh Prabhu sir, whether a company secretary can practice. If he can practice, then what are the scope or what are the opportunities, and mainly who will be his client? Because for advocate, normal people is also his client, but for company secretary, whether company only should be his client, whether partnership firm, a normal man can be his client. So sir, what is the scope of company secretary in practice?
So, as a company secretary, he is having two alternatives. He can go for the employment or he can opt for own practice. For the purpose of practice, he should take COP, Certificate of Practice from the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. By taking COP, he can practice on his own as a practicing company secretary. So, as a practicing company secretary, there are many opportunities are there as per the various law. In the case of company law, so there is a one provision is there, secretarial audit. So as we know that chartered accountants only can do the audit, but right now for the mid-sized companies and large size companies, as per the Companies Act, secretarial audit is mandatory. That should be done by the compulsorily by the practicing company secretary, no others allowed. And the secretarial audit is also mandatory for listed companies also as per the SEBI regulations. So many things are there for the company secretary as per the various laws. So apart from the Companies Act, as per the Foreign Exchange Management Act also, so many things a company secretary can give the services to the clients. In GST also opportunities are there. In customs also opportunities are there. So as a practicing company secretary, so he can represent his clients before the various quasi-judicial authorities, like tribunals, like company law tribunal, like customs tribunal and GST tribunal. So before SAT, Securities and Appellate Tribunal, SEBI. So before those various authorities, he can represent his clients. So like advocate, how he is doing in the court, in the same way, company secretary can also appear. And he can also able to become, after completing the 10 years of practice, so he is also eligible to become the IP, insolvency professional. Insolvency professional. Okay. So for that, on exams, your exams that candidate should write. Okay. After completing the exams, so he is eligible to become the insolvency professional. So insolvency related cases, so that will be handed over to the insolvency professionals. And after completing the 3 years of practice, you are eligible as a company secretary. You are eligible to write the valuation exams. So valuer also a company secretary can become. Okay. And as a company secretary, mainly the clients are corporate sector, that is the company. So apart from the company, the normal people also sometimes they will approach. Correct. Because the trust related matter, so NGO, so Section 8 companies, and the various documents. So in drafting, the company secretary is having the excellent skill. Okay. So in drafting, no one is able to beat the company secretary, because always he is engaged with the drafting related matters. Okay. So drafting may be any agreement, any contract, so anything, resolution, all those things. So that will be drafted by the company secretaries very well. And apart from that, so he can also able to become the GST consultant, tax consultant, project management. Nice. So many things are there for the company secretaries. So in a small town like a Udupi, here also we are having a lot of opportunities as a company secretary. So especially in a company related matter, now producer companies that are gaining very important. Correct. In our area. So for producer companies, the assistance of the company secretaries must. Okay. So whether it is a big city, metro city, or whether it is a small town, so company secretaries having the lot of opportunities as a practicing company secretary. So in intellectual property also, so many opportunities are there. Okay. So as a company secretary, you can directly enroll as a trademark agent. For others, they have to clear the exams conducted by the government. Correct. But for the company secretary, direct enrollment is there. Okay. So these are all the opportunities as a practicing company secretary we are having.
Okay. So a company secretary need not join a company. I mean,
That is not mandatory.
not mandatory. So by starting an office by his own, he can take up the cases or drafting work, and he can give the service.
Yes,
Because
definitely.
most of the students think that company secretary should join a company. It's not like that.
No, not
Independent
like
practice is possible.
Possible.
And there is good scope.
Good scope
Good
is
scope
there.
is there.
Hmm.
Okay, sir. So thank you so much for the wonderful information.
Yes.
Thank you, viewers.
Thank you.